Oh, hello, good morning. This is Bonnie and Thomas Leota with Learn to Speak Kid. And today we're going to talk about how you can bond closer relationships or how to have better, effective communication with your child. Because has there ever been a point where your child said something to you and you're like, oh my gosh, and they weren't talking about the same thing at all? I know that happens to us quite a bit. So, Tom, can you shed some light on the difference between the parent's brain or the parent's way of thinking and then the child's brain?
Oh, absolutely. Because what you say and what they hear are 99.9999989% of the time never on the same page. And we've seen this time and time again. So let's think about it for just a reason. Why would that be so? Kid's brain and adult brain.
Oh, I don't know.
Well, if you think about it, kids only know everything that they know. And that's all that they know.
Right.
5, 10, 15, right? You know, teenagers, I know everything. However, there's a part of us that's the adult brain that has all those things that we learned in school, but with some life experiences. So we can easily go back and go, Bonnie, do you remember the first time you rode a bike?
Yep.
Do you remember the first time you bought a car?
Yes, I do.
Do you remember the first time you bought a house?
Mm-hmm.
Or had your first child or whatever type of first job or get in an airplane or travel around the world? Kids do not have that ability. Hey, little Timmy, who's 8, remember your first child? No, they don't even search that. So we can, as adults, go back to a kid. A child cannot go forward. Now, here's the key. Children are on a Lewis and Clark expedition into the adult world, and are looking to us as leaders to show them into the great unknown for them. So think about this. When a child comes home from school and is so excited about, hey, guess what I just learned today? And it's something like totally kids play, like you learned ancient 30, 50 years ago. And you're like, yeah, I already know that. It's no big deal. But to them, it's like a life changer. And so if we can be excited about the things that they see and understand that they have no idea of how life works now, it's up to us to go back to the level that they're at and then be able to move them forward.
Yeah, and I want to say something too, like, oh, you just spilled on the couch, or, you left your bike outside, it's going to get stolen. All of these fears and anxieties and stuff that we have because maybe our bike got stolen, or we know how much work it's going to take to clean the couch, or as Tom did when he was a child running up and down the hallways with crayons, mom knew how much work it was going to be to get the wax off the walls, but Tom at the age of 4 or 5 had no idea. So that's what we're talking about. So when it comes to like parents' brain, child's brain, my son came out with something like, I know where you live and I've got a gun, or some statement. And we can go, oh my gosh, my 10-year-old knows about guns and what it means to kill people. And when you actually talk to him about it, he's like, well, I saw it on a video game. So this is really good stuff, Tom. Thank you so much for sharing.
Yeah, exactly. Especially when you have your teenager, for those of you who have teenagers and are talking about dating. Well, the adult brain goes, oh my gosh, look at all these life experiences and good, bad, indifferent over my dead body, right? You start to project those. Or if you take a moment and you think, ask some questions or inquire about what those statements are. So what does dating mean? And they're like, oh, that's just where a bunch of kids get together and they go to a movie at the mall. Well, how many people are there? Usually about 10 or 20. Oh, well, because that was a whole different world of what I was thinking what dating means. Yeah. And so for us to take the time to think about that, boy, does that really help as far as the communication and maybe lessen the actual power struggles of projecting our experience onto them, because they really don't know what to do. And isn't it frustrating, Bonnie, that we think that they should know what to do and they really don't, coming from a kid's point of view?
Yeah, sit up in your chair, use your manners, or, hold the door open for that lady. And it's like, gosh, the kids, and I didn't know this at all until Tom obviously brought it to my attention. But when he did bring it to my attention, I've learned really quickly to go, what does that mean? Where did you learn that? And ask some inquisitive, oh, I saw it on a commercial, or I saw it on a movie, or, something like that. it really helps. So give the parents some tips today on what they can do to get themselves more on the same page with their child, whether they have ADHD, ODD, or they're just a small child. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, exactly. When you really think about it, all kids need to be taught life skills. And the ones that have been neglected in life skills training have labels, ADHD, ODD. It's just they've been neglected for too long to be taught. So that still works, just a little more work. But here's a tip that you can do is instead of telling them, hey, open the door for her or open the door for us to show respect or courtesy. Sometimes you start asking as you start to plant the seed. When you see it, you're like, hey, what do you see over there? What is that child doing? Oh, they're opening the door. Oh, so you start to bring awareness to them. And then two, it'd be like, hey, if you really wanted to show good responsibility or respect to elders, what would you do when we approach the restaurant tonight when we get to the front door? And they go, open it for you. And so it gives them a chance to explore all these new ideas that they have no idea about. And that's really awesome.
Yeah. So what you're saying, teach the kids life skills before assuming that they know the words that they're using or even the words that we're using when we're talking to them. Oh, okay. Before we go, I know we're going to try to keep it as short as possible, but there was a YouTube video and this little girl had taken crayons and she'd colored all over her body. And she was probably about 3 or 4. And so the parents were asking her questions. Why did you do that? Who did that? You know,
I don't know.
That's why I said, I don't know at the beginning of the presentation today, because that's what kids do. Every time you ask them a question, right? They'll say, I don't know. So do you want to explain that really quickly?
Yeah, what's really awesome about that is they don't really know. Impulsively, there's things that they just do or they saw. And when you ask them that directly, it's like, well, who did that? Or what happened here? It's almost like the tone, they shut down and go, let's see. Anything I say is the truth is incriminating. So I don't want to really tell them. So I'm going to go ignorance card. Yeah, I don't know. Then we actually approach it the wrong way. That's what's key. When you get the I don't know. But if you look at it and go, wow, look at you. You colored all over yourself. That's pretty awesome. Where did you learn that? Or who showed you that great technique? So you give them a chance to share what their level of exploration is. Now, here's the real key thing. I know I'm like you and you're like us on all kinds of levels. You see your kid doing something that you don't like and you yell at them, hey, we don't throw rocks at cars. Bad. I mean, get past the point, do you do that? We've all done it. But you think to yourself, if I could pause my life and rewind and go, I didn't see this coming. So what can I do now to be more pre-framing or proactive and go, you know, what would be the best thing to do with those rocks other than throw them at cars? And it gives them a chance. You can give them some options, you know, and whatever it might be. And so it gives them a chance for empowering, because those life experiences are always going to be very, very negative. We've all been there. We start to cry. We feel bad. We're really not in a learning environment. We're almost in a shutdown mode. So there really is no education there. But if we give them a chance to go, yes, that's probably not the best choice out of these 3. And it's that loving and caring. Does it take work? Yes. Is this something that our parents probably did for us? I'm going to have to say probably 90% of the time, no. And we had a few parents that kind of were liberated and said yes. But you get the idea that it's up to us to break that cycle. If it's not going to be this generation, it's going to be the next generation having the same conversation saying, well, my parents never did that. So we get the ideas. What can we do? And what is the way to create the environment for a lesson to be learned with those options? And most important is using the law of relativity, because throwing rocks, hey, we all did that. But what would be some other choices? And out of those 3, give them the cause and the effect as they do make their way from kid's brain to an adult brain.
Yeah, that's really great. Okay, so to summarize everything, we're going to begin to look at our children as if they need to learn a life skill rather than they're doing something wrong. I remember throwing rocks at the cars
malicious, right? Because do they really wake up in the morning going, what can I do to really piss off my parents?
Yeah, no, obviously. And then the parents don't wake up going, what can I do to yell at my kids today, right? And we're not doing that. So we're saying is look at your children as if they just need to learn a lesson, and it's your job to actually teach them, right? So we're going to take the control off of parenting and put it onto the environment where the child needs to learn. And then when you take 2 to 3 minutes to go, when we get to the store and there is another person, we're going to practice opening the door for ladies today or whatever it is. That's your job to teach them. It's not their job to automatically know. And then the other thing is that kids don't even think abstract until they're 13. So when you say, why did you do that? They go blank. They cannot answer you. So we'll get rid of the why did you do that and just teach them what they should do instead if they want to earn higher points or bigger rewards or privileges or whatever. So just know, yeah, when your child comes out with some words, and you don't like them, don't automatically go to your adult brain and assume. Make sure to ask those questions and make sure your child actually knows what you're talking about too when you're communicating with them. And it's all in the modules. So if you are watching this video for the first time, again, we're Bonnie and Thomas Leota. We're authors of Learn to Speak Kid, and all of the good fun stuff is on our website, learntospeakkid.com. We have 5 proven phrases there that can help you get started. We also have 4 free video campaign that can help you get started. And we would love for you to just subscribe to our YouTube channel, click like on the video and all of that great things, because I think the more parents that get to learn what we're teaching, what Tom teaches, then the more kids who are champions will be actually playing with your kids at the playground. Thank you so much. Enjoy the rest of your day. Bye for now.